Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very welcome. Right, today is a map that was voted in by the BonBon buddies over on Patreon because it's Friday, and it's a map that I have been very excited to look at for quite a while now. It's a creator we have done once in the past, episode 931, and it's probably a map, if you're a regular to the show, it's probably a map that you'll remember. You might not think that you're going to remember a map from nearly 2 years ago that wasn't one of the big shiny maps by one of the big shiny creators, but I think you would. It was actually so good that it made my final shortlist for Map of the Year 2020. It was a fantasy map and it was edged out because of the incredible Titilapopo being Map of the Year, and I wanted to have a slightly different fantasy style map as the option, as the alternate. So unfortunately that one got edged out. So anyway, today's map, I'm a bit excited about it. Are you excited too? I think she is. Well, she's already clicked the like button, have you? Yes, supporting the channel is the best thing you can do when you're excited. Today's map is Gera, Revitalized Desert by Krupto Russ, formerly Krupto Games, and that map was Inder. It was the one with the floating rocks. I mean, floating in the air rocks. Do you remember it? Anyway, let's just start square. Very hard to really make out what's going on from this height, but we will be going down for a better look in a few minutes. The terrain heights are buildable in the middle. That's the important bit. And then we've got resources which are strong. We've got oil, we've got ore, and we have a few trees for knocking down as well. And then, of course, if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, we've actually got all of the little fishes as well. A full cabangle there, if that's a word. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, no DLC required today. Or is there? No assets required because we're 100% vanilla. Nicely written description that excited me even more than the anticipation that I had already. We'll be using the vanilla tropical theme and the realistic 1.2 LUT. So anyway, we're going down to ground level. We've got a highway coming in from this angle and a highway coming in from this angle. You may notice a little spiky thing there as well. That's what happens when you put a prop or a tree right on the border of the map, and it just like glitches it right the way up the side of the cube. Anyway, let's go and ask you a little question. If I settle the camera down here, I'm gonna observation mode, guys. Observation. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see what I'm going to talk about yet? Can you? That's right. They are 4-lane mass transit highways. You will need mass transit for this one. And you thought something with a crossover the roads a little bit. No. Because mass transit isn't listed, we have to assume that you haven't got mass transit and you spent 15 minutes waiting for the map to load because you've got a potato system, and therefore you're going to be very unhappy at this point. Uh-oh. Alright, so we're following the highway along, and we've got a chance here, but it looks like a chance to loop back to the edge of the map over that way. That's kind of nice, and I'm going to follow the routes to go over to the edge of the map over that way. So let's follow this 4-lane mass transit highway over here, which is going to merge in with a 4-lane roundabout. Ooh, busy. We don't want that exit, and if we go full loop, we can only go back the way we came. So cars coming in from the direction that we were going in, and cars coming in from the other direction wanting to go the direction that we were coming from, are going to have to take the next available turn back. So we'll keep a special eye out for wherever that may be. So anyway, yeah, we've had a whole host of desert maps lately, haven't we? A whole host of them. And, well, this one is another one. This one does fall into the fantasy category, though, for a number of reasons. And, hey, listen, I like a fantasy map and I like a desert map. A good desert map and a good fantasy map are very nice maps indeed. So there's all of that going for it. And, of course, with their previous map being so good, I thought this one, which was released about the same time, to be fair, there's your Star Square intersection, which means, actually, if we were to start building our city and connect up these two roads one way or another, oh, we've got a little tree there, a little bush, But yeah, if we connect these two up in one way or another, like with a little roundabout to get us started, this is where the traffic's going to turn around and head back. So you're going to have a lot of traffic using this intersection just to go back to the edge of the map. So yeah, another little grumbly point. And we've got another little grumbly point as well. We'll have a better look at the start square in a minute. Don't worry, we're not going to ignore it. We've got 4 lanes and 4 lanes splitting away. They head off that way towards the edge of the map. And this one is a bit lonely. We haven't got an in route. We're missing an in route. Maybe Krupto has like been playing with us and it's tucked away somewhere. We'll follow this. We'll see if we can find its accompanying highway somewhere. But yeah, so anyway, this map was actually the map immediately before Inder. So this isn't actually a newer map. This is actually an older map. So if I've misled you into thinking this is like the new map from them, it's not. It's actually an older one. I think they've got some newer stuff that might be worth checking out. But for now, I mean, this one's been on my wish list for way too long. Glad to actually finally get down and have a look at it. And of course, a map like this maybe was part of the inspiration towards making Inder, which was, like I say, absolutely superb. Do check it out, episode 931. Big old waterfall there. I'm still following our lonely highway, the loneliest highway, into the tunnel. And that's going to head off probably straight towards the edge of the map. Let's have a little look. There it is, right over there on the edge. So, yeah, it's all good. The tree painting, and I also quite like the terrain. Oh, hang on, we've got another spike over here by the looks of it. Yeah, I'm also liking the way that the terrain's been worked as well to give like that mottled effect. And we've got a weird like glitch going along the ground as well there. We'll ignore that. It's way off on the edge of the map, and this is a vanilla map, so therefore we're probably going to assume that people won't be playing out on the outer tiles anyway. A rail. The rail heads off in this direction. And the rail is, I mean, it's a fantasy map. We can allow for a little bit of up and down here and there, so that's fine. It's fine. I'm not moaning. I'm not moaning. Listen, Inder is the forgiveness for a map that has glitches. Okay, Inder was superb. The other map that oh, hang on, we've got a junction here which we can't turn back on. But if we were to follow that one right off to the edge of the map, it would go all the way down that way. We'll go back the other way then. But yeah, the map that I chose instead of Inder as my runner-up, nearly on the rail there, was my runner-up fantasy map of the year, was BonBonBingo Now, which was that, it was more of a scenario map. It was the map where the map filled up with water and you had to basically build and get to, Catenary Chaos for the BonBonBingo players. Link is in the description. Those who want to play BonBonBingo, checking off the memes. But yes, it was the big map that completely filled up with water, and you had to basically build and get to the higher ground. And because it was different, I felt like rewarding it. But it was Krupto's map that missed out on the final cut. It could have, if it hadn't been for Titi. I blame Anapu. Always blame Anapu. Titi La Popo, which was too good. If that hadn't come out, then I feel that this one would have been up there with BonBonBingo. I even say BonBonBingo. Anyway, off to the edge of the map over there. Right, we'll take a brief intermission. Be right back after this.
Very few maps achieve the coveted all-star status. 5 stars for aesthetic, detail, and gameplay potential. To see them all in the all-star playlist, click the button now.
And back to Gera, Revitalized Desert by Krupto Rus, short for Russia. We have a little immediate turn back there for the ships, so I could do a little shipping triangle there, or even just one outside connection. I don't think we really even need to on this particular map. Anyway, the shipping route does a sensible thing. We do end up with a little bit of shipping clipping here. I think even the alternates, the workshop ships are going to struggle to get underneath that bridge. And then over here we're going to clip through a couple more bridges, so again more shipping clipping going on there, heading up to the central bay where we get a loop back going on right there. That would Crunch, I think, was a bottle lorry. How lovely. Right, water flow. We've got a lot of water flow because of we've got waterfalls, a couple of them, and with waterfalls you get a lot of water pressure, which is good. We have a little bit of water in the start square, which is just over here. I can show you this little bit of river over here. You can see the dotted line. That's what you're working with on this particular map. Not an awful lot, but it's actually flowing back in towards the map. So even with the waterfalls, you're not actually getting water flow in the direction that it goes the other way. Now, I'm going to say, I really like this. This shines. This says that Krupto Russ has got some ideas. Yeah, it's a fantasy map, so I don't mind this on the fantasy map. And the overall shape and scaling of it's all very nice. We do have a few drowned trees. Yes, they do have their trunks on. We've got a few drowned trees there, but they're it's not a huge problem for me. That, I would say, is the best part of the whole map. This one over here, I actually like the waterfall. I don't like the water source on this one. It just doesn't quite work in the way that the previous one did for me. But the waterfall itself, it actually works. So some credit for that one. Again, learning curve. This is where we all, we learn from our mistakes and we improve from them, hopefully. I don't, but most people do. Okay, now let's have a quick look. There's your start square. Now, the problem I've got with the start square is this is the main building area over here, and our trumpet intersection goes off in the opposite direction, immediately meeting a lump of rock, which frankly, I find... Oh, we've got some stuff on the top. Now, I find that I don't like blockages straight on from the off. You want to start building, you want to actually get in. You don't have to worry about having to build a bridge over to the other side. We've actually got a hill backing on in there as well, so it's not easy just to go straight in the other side from there. The obvious answer is over here, but we've got the rail down here. Maybe you want to find a different location. How about over here? Right, so where we've got our intersection here, we've actually got some interesting terrain. Maybe we could have a fancy elevated intersection in there, something flash, bringing the traffic off into that direction and then down and through, and then I think, and that would be, yeah, I think that's how if it were me, I think that's how I would have done it. Now, we've got a few other glitchy talking points, like I don't know what happened here, what was going on here, what the intention was here, but that is noteworthy. Out of the 25 tiles on the vanilla map, so does it matter? We've got some remnants of the map grid that show all the straight lines, and so that's a straight bendy river right there. And then this rail line here has a little bit that just pops up the tunnel, just pops up out through the land there. Over here we've got a tiny little bit, again this is out of the 25 tiles, so don't worry too much about this one. I think it is anyway. We've got a little bit of blue mantle showing from certain distances from that glitching in the road there, but easily fixed. Now, do you remember this right back at the start? This we couldn't go down the other road. We couldn't turn back this way. I'm going down this way anyway because there's something down here that is a little bit glitchy as well. I'm making this creator sound like an awful creator. Really? They're not. This was an earlier map that was on my to look at list because it looked a little bit interesting. And now we've had a look at it. Well, it's definitely not their best work, but their best work was exceptional. Oh, I really want to build on Inder right now. Anyway, a little bit of glitching on the road there. And I really like this. Okay, this is really hard to get some proper dune-shaped shapes. Dune-shaped shapes? Yes. That is definitely shaped like a dune. Don't like the location right next to the roads there. That feels a bit scary to me. But the shape, I really like that. And it's very rare to see something that looks dune-like. Now this bit here, this is a bit weird. We've got all the water pouring in here. I think this is a missed opportunity actually. The water pouring in there is quite interesting. And then we have this lake that doesn't really give an explanation as to why the water is pouring in there. And I'm thinking, I do a little extra show for the BonBon Buddies on Patreon and YouTube membership. And I'm thinking this week's What's Map Extra, I'm going to do some tinkering with this. I don't know if it's going to work, but I think we'll be doing that one as a little bonus show for the supporters that go the extra mile. It's not all about hitting the like button, the subscribe button, you know. You can support the channel. Links in the description as always, or just hit the join button down below. Right, let's have a little look at the terrain lines in the start square. So it's fairly flat. We've just got that hill by the intersection and the lump of rock hill to the south of the intersection, but the rest of it is definitely buildable. And there's also a little asset pack down here as well. Modocero. Yeah, Modocero was that creator who's 3 times been at number 20 on the Steam chart show, Cities Skylines top 20. But yes, the Small Houses Cuba pack, great set, and they've given a little shout out to Peter Barr as well, which is good. Anyway, as this is a desert map, I felt that we had to do factoids because factoids. The name Baked Alaska originated at Delmonico's restaurant in New York City in 1876 and was created in honor of the newly acquired territory of Alaska. The desert map is also called Omelette à la Norvégienne, Norwegian omelette, omelette surprise, and glace à four, which is ice cream in the oven, I do believe. Glace au four, even, or four. My French is almost as good as my French used to be, but it's definitely tapering away in my old age. Where were we? Oh yeah, Small Houses Cuba Pack Modocero. This is really lovely. More from them. I mean, so can we get them higher than number 20 with their next asset? That would be very pleasing indeed. But then they'd stop being a meme, wouldn't they? Let's keep them at number 20. Just every asset at number 20. Listen, you get mentioned first. You get mentioned first. Hey, what do you think of today's map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen, or the link in the description. It'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Apple, or a Patreon account. But what do I think of today's map? Well, it's different. Listen, it's an interesting design. There's thought that's gone into the design of it. I'm not saying I love it, but there's thought gone into it. But I don't really feel this one anywhere near being 4 stars. I want to go slightly, a smidgen above middle 3. Detailing, they've gone to some efforts, and 1 or 2 of them have worked. But I have to say that this does fall into 2-star category, so let's go medium, just slightly above middle 2. Yeah, that'll do. Gameplay potential. I don't think it really matters too much. I think it was probably going to be in the middle to high 3, but because mass transit is required but isn't listed, we have to assume you don't have mass transit, which means that the map is technically broken, which means it has to score under the rules of what map, just the 1 star. But if you look at it and you've got mass transit and you like it, it'd be much higher. Gera Revitalized Desert by Krupto Games. That was, I'm gonna say I've been so excited about that one for months, and I'm just a little disappointed. But then I suppose I should accept it because it was the previous map to Inder. Maybe I need to have a look at the next map on from Inder if I really cared that much about it. Anyway, are you still here? Good. Use the words of the day to prove it. Prove you're part of that 20 and out elite, and I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What's Map series. And yeah, it's gonna be Saturday. Hey.